All right, let's see if I still got it. What's happening, YouTube? My name is Suraj, and it's been a minute since my last YouTube appearance. It's actually been about 4 months. I've been away. I've been working on some other projects. I'll probably talk about it in a future video at some point. But I am back, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about a little experiment that I did a couple of months ago. It's how I made a little over $200, roughly 16,000 rupees, in 15 hours of work as a video editor, working remotely using a platform called Upwork. If you've been following this channel, you would know that I love talking pricing, value, all that type of stuff. I think it's very fascinating, and I also think it's incredibly mind-blowing that regular people, you and I, we can work from anywhere and make money using just a laptop and an internet connection. Now, it's not easy. It definitely requires skill, and it's definitely not quick money. Making money on Upwork or on the internet in general, it's not quick money. Anybody who tells you otherwise is simply lying to you. Good shit takes time. That's simply the nature of things. But as I said, today we're talking about Upwork. We'll sort of talk about what Upwork really is. For those of you that may not be aware, we'll talk about my experience and how I sort of made the money that I did, what type of gigs I took up and all that. And third, we'll also sort of talk about how you can get started if you want to, and try and give it a shot. I'm no expert at this, so take this for what it's worth. Without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Okay, so Upwork is essentially a platform that connects freelancers and clients. Let's say there's a client that needs a service, whether that's writing, proofreading, video editing, whatever it is. They come to Upwork and they post a job listing. On the other end, freelancers, people like you and I, people with the skill, we can apply for that job post. We can send a proposal, and the client will then go through their list of candidates who have applied for it. They'll shortlist a few, they'll interview each one of them, and depending on the requirements, how things go, the client will then pick one freelancer to do the job. The freelancer gets paid, the client hopefully gets a good product in return, and Upwork in the process makes their commission, their cut, because they're a business. That's how they make money. That's essentially what Upwork is. Now, there are a lot of platforms like Upwork. There's Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com. Those are the ones that come to mind right now. I've tried Fiverr in the past. I don't really like it because it starts at a really, really low rate. So like something like $5 or $10 is, if I'm not wrong, is what it starts at. And there's like crazy competition. Like every second Indian graphic design kid is a registered freelancer on Fiverr.com, and I don't really want to be competing with that. Freelancer.com I've not really tried, so I'm not going to talk about it. But Upwork, this is a platform that I'd heard about from a friend who had been doing really well on the platform. He showed me a couple of screenshots, and I was blown away. So I signed up here as a video editor. Alright, on Upwork, there's basically two types of jobs in terms of how you get paid. There are jobs where you get paid by the hour, there's hourly rates, and there's jobs where you have a fixed project rate for the entire project. Now, typically, in real life, I don't take up jobs that pay by the hour anymore. I don't think hourly rates are a good idea because 1 hour is never 1 hour, 1 hour is always 3, and 3 hours is always 8. Things always take twice as long as you think they do. But on Upwork, hourly rates are great because they have this beautiful proprietary time tracking software. They basically have it's called the Upwork time tracker or something like that, and every time you start a gig, you have to start that application, and what it does is it kind of tracks what you're doing. So it takes a screenshot of your laptop or computer screen every 10 minutes, and it also measures the number of keyboard strokes that you make and your mouse movements and all of that. So what this means is there's no room for Jugadu Indians that want to increase their number of hours without actually putting in the effort. That's minimized, and I think that's actually a very good thing. The fact that it's so robust and foolproof is amazing because then you value your time correctly, the client values your time, and you get paid exactly what you deserve. So even if it goes over like a little bit over time, you will still get paid for the extra time that you put in. So hourly rates on Upwork are beautiful, but then of course there's also fixed projects where you have a fixed project rate. So I so far have done 2 gigs on Upwork. I'm gonna actually pull out my phone for this one because there's a lot of numbers. So for the first gig that I did, it was at a $20 hourly rate. Now this was a birthday video edit. Yes, those cringy birthday videos that you make for friends and family. Now typically I don't really take up these type of jobs, not that there's anything wrong with them, but typically I prefer something that's a little more creatively challenging. This one took me about almost 3 hours to make, not a full 3 hours, but almost 3 hours, so I ended up making something like $56 from it. The reason I took it up is because I had no job reviews on my Upwork profile, and you want to have at least something to sort of get started. So I figured I'd take this one up to kind of establish some kind of credibility on my profile. The second gig, this was a personal trailer video for an entrepreneur who sort of wanted a video that kind of encompasses everything that does. And this I did at an $18 hourly rate. I intentionally undercut compared to the previous $20 because I knew that this would take a while. I estimated that this would take at least 10 hours, which it did. So a slight decrease in the hourly rate would not be as big a problem in the grand scheme of things. So this one ended up taking about 12 hours. So using the simple rules of multiplication, I made 12 into 18, $18 an hour. I made roughly $216. Actually, it went slightly over 216, so it was actually 222. But in total, 222 plus 57, that's roughly $280. That's how much I made, but that's not the complete story. Upwork, they're a business, they have to make money, so they take a 20% commission. So out of 280, I truly only made about 220, which is roughly 16,000 rupees. In total, I took about 15 hours to complete these two jobs, and this 15 hours was actually not over a couple of days or even a full week. This actually took me a couple of months because I was also working on other things. I had to send my laptop in for repair in the middle of my second gig, so I lost like 20 days there. Plus, you also have to keep in mind that this is sort of like a platform, so you still have to kind of manually apply for the jobs. So it doesn't mean that every proposal that you send you'll get hired for it. Obviously you won't. I sent about 18 proposals in total, and I got hired for 2, so that's like 11% conversion rate, which in the world of cold approach is not too bad. If you know anything about cold approach, it's not like incredibly amazing. I know some people that are getting like 20-30% conversions, but 11-10% is I think pretty decent. As always, I like keeping things as transparent as possible. You can go ahead and watch the video that came out of the second gig, the final product, by hitting the link in the description. It's not too long. I actually think it turned out pretty good. I'm kind of proud of it. But don't watch it yet. Don't click on it yet. Go and watch it after this video, because right now we're going to talk about sort of how you can also get started and do things for yourself and make money and not be a struggling artist anymore. I'm kidding. That shit never goes away. You know that, right? You're always a struggling artist. I'm kidding. All right, let's talk about some proposals and some other things that you can do to do Upwork. Okay, so Upwork at the end of the day is still only a platform, which means that once you create your profile, once you set up your account, all of that, you still have to manually reach out and apply for jobs. Well, sometimes you do get invited to pitch to a job, but that's not going to be very often. So most of the times you have to kind of go into the job feed and apply and send proposals and all of that, which means that since there is a lot of competition, you won't get hired for every single job that you apply for. That's simply the nature of it. So you can't really control the outcome of your pitch. You can't really control the competition, obviously, but what you can sort of control is how you kind of present yourself when you apply for a job. And here are some things that I keep in mind while doing the same. Firstly, even before you pitch, make sure your profile is complete. So many people miss out on this. It's very basic. What I mean by a complete profile is just having a nice, good profile picture, a complete description, a complete bio of what you do. Not very long, not very short, just the right length with bifurcated sections so that it's easy to read and people quickly understand what you do. And third, have enough pieces of portfolio or work examples. Again, this does not mean 20-30 examples. It only means 5 or 6 in most cases. That's how I have on for display. That's how many I have for display. But make sure it's your best pieces of work and make sure it's the most relevant examples. Make sure it's relevant to the services you're offering. And if you do all of this, which is actually very basic, by the way, there's a good chance you might get the Upwork Rising Talent Badge. This is something that they give out to new freelancers. I got it. I don't know exactly what I did, but I can tell you for a fact that I did not do anything extra. All I did is I set up my profile. I had a nice profile picture. I added a complete description. I added work examples, and I actively started sending proposals. I started applying for jobs. That's really it. I didn't do anything special. I didn't think I did anything special. But one day I got an email from Upwork saying I'm eligible for this and this. I had to take a small test and I got the Rising Talent Badge. I definitely think it adds some credibility because I've seen some job listings where the client says that they're specifically looking for somebody with the Rising Talent Badge. So it's not a whole lot of work. Just do the basics, have a complete profile, add a picture, have enough pieces of work examples, and also start actively sending proposals. Secondly, it might be a good idea to sort of undercut the competition in terms of pricing. And the good thing about this is that if you're working from India like I am, even after decreasing your hourly rate, you're still going to make a good amount of money, because most of the clients you'll find are going to be from North America and Europe. So something like a $20 hourly rate is going to be sort of like minimum wage, or like average wage or average rate for them. That's actually a lot of money in India. I mean, you don't see video editors getting paid 1400 1500 bucks an hour very frequently. You do at some level, but not like beginner to like mid-tier, for sure. So even if you like undercut that a little bit, even if you go like, I don't know, whatever, $1,000 or whatever, you're still going to make quite a bit of money. So undercut the competition a bit in terms of pricing. I would not say like, don't go extreme. That would be a bit shady. But like, I think a healthy 10, 20, maybe 30% wouldn't really hurt anybody, and it would definitely increase your odds of getting hired. All right, let's talk about the final one, and that's the actual proposal itself, the pitch. What do you write when you're pitching to somebody? How do you know what to include, what not to include? Because I think Upwork gives you something like 2,000 characters or something to write a pitch. Obviously, don't fill up all of it. I don't think that's a good idea. But as a general rule of thumb, okay, firstly, let's take a look at my pitch that I wrote for the job that I got hired for, the second one. But before that, let's also actually look at the actual job posting itself. So this is what that looks like. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. If you want, you can pause and read it. And here's the pitch that I wrote in response to it. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Pause and read if you want to, because honestly, even though I got hired for it, in hindsight, God, I love that word, I don't think this pitch is very great. It's a little underwhelming. I think there's a few things that I got right with it in my defense, but I don't think this is a very great pitch. It's been a few months now, and looking back at it, I don't think this is the best pitch I've written. But in my defense, there's a couple things that I got right with it, at least one or two. And I think firstly, that is the fact that it's very short and to the point. I believe this with every single email or pitch that I write. If it takes them more than 30 to 45 seconds to read, you've already kind of lost. Don't write your entire life story. Nobody wants to know how you kind of got started. Well, there's a place for that, but not in emails or pitches. Keep it to the point. Tell them why you would be the right fit. Just, add credibility. But apart from that, I feel like this pitch is missing firstly a hook, and it's missing a call to action. So on the client's dashboard, they're going to see the freelancer's name, and right next to it, they'll see the first couple of lines of the freelancer's proposal. So ideally, you want to have a nice hook, something that grabs their attention immediately. This does not mean like super clickbaity, false promises type of stuff. Please don't do that. But you can sort of try to get their attention in other ways. Anything that is not the usual, hi, my name is so and so, because you really want to stand out from the crowd. And let's be real, nobody really cares about your name. So going forward with my proposals, I think a good hook would be something like, hi, I found your job really interesting, or something like, I think I'd be the perfect fit for this job, and here's why. Anything that's not the usual, hey, my name is so and so. The second section can then be who you are. That's where your name comes in, what you do, how long you've been doing it, some brands you worked with, anything like that. In the third section, I would kind of put links to work. So this can be YouTube links, Upwork links, whatever it is. Put 2 or 3 examples that are relevant in this particular scenario in whatever job you're applying for. And in the fourth and fifth section, I think you can again sort of mention something that will add your credibility. So something like the brands you worked with, or even if you have a YouTube channel or something like that. Sometimes I'll mention that I have this YouTube channel which I built from 0 to 40,000 subscribers. And this is sometimes it's relevant because most of the jobs that I apply for are video editing jobs that require me to edit videos for YouTube, Instagram, and all that type of stuff. So actually adding that, I think, adds some kind of weight, adds some kind of credibility, because then they know that I've actually done this for myself, not even for somebody else. I've done this for myself without somebody else holding me accountable, which means that I'd be able to do this for them as well. So even if you don't have a massive channel or whatever, if you just have anything, an Instagram page, a YouTube page, whatever it is, it can be a good idea to sort of mention that, because anything that adds credibility, you want to make the best use of it. And then in the end, I think you can sort of close it off with a nice call to action. So something like, hey, let's jump on a quick call to discuss this more in detail and see how we can make the best product for you. Just an example, anything that basically creates urgency, that kind of gets their attention, not in a, again, clickbaity, false promises type of way. I don't ever think you should do that, but only offer what you can promise, or only promise what you can offer. And, just be nice, keep it short. Try to go the extra mile. If you can show them that you're going the extra mile for them, I think that increases your chances, because honestly, most people don't really care enough and they're not going to go the extra mile. So another thing you can do is to sort of already give suggestions for the project, like in your proposal itself. So if it's, say, an Instagram video edit, for example, you can say, this and this music would work well, or this aspect ratio would be awesome. Whatever it is, basically prove to them that you actually care about the job. But yeah, on the whole, keep it short, have a nice hook, introduce yourself, show examples of work, add credibility, and close it off with a nice call to action. I don't think it's that complicated. It definitely requires some time, and you're probably gonna not get accepted or hired for most of the jobs, but that's just the nature of the cold approach. I actually think it's beautiful. You learn a lot in the process, and you get better at it with time. So that's kind of some of the things that I keep in mind while writing a proposal, whether that's on Upwork or email, whatever it is. The fundamentals kind of apply everywhere. So yeah, that's basically about it for this video. That's how I made a little over $200 in 15 hours of work as a video editor on Upwork. I hope you found this video of value. If you did, give it a like. If you did not, vote it down. Let me know in the comments why I didn't like it. If you have any questions about Upwork, about anything, you can always drop a comment, reach out to me on Instagram, or send me a super text on my super page, which will also be linked in the description. Or if you just simply want to support me, buy me a coffee or whatever, again, super page, link in the description. Thank you so much everybody for sticking by. I honestly don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I do want to slowly get back into the groove of doing YouTube, because honestly I love it so much. I would never give it up. I'm slowly getting back into it. If you've stuck around, if you've sent me a message on Instagram or Twitter asking about new videos, honestly, I really appreciate all the love. It's crazy that you guys care so much about it. Really makes me want to create. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. If you're new, consider subscribing. Maybe hit the bell icon while you're at it. My name is Suraj. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.
Let it slip away, left but then you came. All the same, nothing left the game. Show 'em we don't play. It depends how you celebrate. Kinda say complain with your ways. How you slipping while you still in center stage.